Hello, welcome to the September edition of Extra. I'm Joanne Hines.
And I'm Georgia Lash. Here at Extra, we bring you expanded coverage of recently broadcast features from Sun City News.
Now, before we let September take us into the fall, let's look back at some of our summer stories. Now, Georgia, we spent some time outside in Sun City at the Hummingbird and Butterfly Garden. Let's see what happened.
I'm standing here in one of Sun City's treasures, the Community Hummingbird and Butterfly Garden. If you haven't visited, wait till you see this, and wait till you hear about how the garden came to be, thanks to the Sun City Avant Gardeners Club. When did the Avant Gardeners develop the Community Hummingbird and Butterfly Garden?
The garden was started in 2009, but it didn't look exactly the way it does now because over the years we've added a lot of features into this garden.
Why is it important to have a garden with a purpose like this?
So hummingbirds and butterflies are actually pollinators, and pollinators are really critical to our way of life. Other pollinators, of course, are bees, moths, wasps, flies, even beetles, and we're trying to provide a habitat for them. 75% of our flowering plants depend on them, a third of our food is dependent on them. And also a lot of the clothing we eat is dependent on them. And over the years, pollinator numbers have declined dramatically based on the fact that there's habitat loss, we have climate warming, and also the use of pesticides.
How is the garden maintained?
The garden is maintained by volunteers from the Avant Gardeners Club. That we have 4 separate teams. Each team comes in once a month for about an hour, and that's how the garden's maintained.
Any other groups or clubs in the true community spirit that have helped with the community garden?
Over the years, clubs and individuals have donated time and money and expertise. The woodworkers, for example, built our pergolas and many of our other wood features. Many members of the Bird Club, the Art Club, do come into the garden and use it, and so we do feel like it's a great benefit to the community.
How is the community garden funded?
The majority of the funding comes from the Sun City Garden Tour, again run by the Avant Garden Club. This year, unfortunately, it had to be canceled in the spring. We're hoping that it'll be next spring, but without that, frankly, financing it would be very difficult.
How can a resident get involved?
So if residents would like to volunteer, that would be great. We're always looking for volunteers. Our volunteer coordinator is Diane McKinnery, and you can reach her at 843-705-3632.
If any of us would want to create our own personal hummingbird and butterfly garden, where should we start?
The key thing is to probably pick a location that's sunny and somewhat open. Native habitats can have 50 to 100 different species of flowering plants, which is obviously overwhelming for any home garden. But 10 well-chosen plants can really suffice to start a garden. You want to look for plants that are attracting the type of pollinator you want, whether it's hummingbirds or butterflies. You want to have a long flowering season covered by those plants. So that means you want to have blooms of some sort starting in early spring through the fall. You also want to plant usually more than one plant unless it's a very large plant. And in addition, you want to try to have host plants if you're going to have butterflies in the garden. A water feature is really great to have. And the other thing I would say is not to use pesticides.
Do you have any tips for maintaining a garden like this?
I mean, in this kind of heat, you really have to work out in your garden in the early morning or late afternoon, early evening, I guess, just to get away from the heat. I mean, we do it with a team, so we're able to get a lot done in a short period of time. But it's mostly at this time of year, weeding and pruning back and deadheading. I would just say one of the things that I didn't mention is probably garden soil. Most of our soil in Sun City is pretty horrible. So if you don't amend the soil, you will probably not have a good garden. And finally, I just want to emphasize not to use insecticides. And if you have a lawn service that's coming in and spraying everything with insecticides, you are killing the good ones along with the bad ones. And there are more good ones than bad ones.
Sue, we've got a lot of things going on in this garden, and if you would just point out to us some of the features that really distinguish it as a hummingbird and butterfly garden.
Well, one of the things is that we do have host plants here for butterflies to lay their eggs on that the caterpillars eat. One example is this passion vine, and it has a beautiful purple flower in addition to providing the foliage that the caterpillars eat. One thing to know too is that hummingbirds also need the insects in the garden because they use insects actually to feed their young. So insects are important in a lot of different ways.
It looks like you've also provided a place for people to maybe not just walk through, but enjoy and sit down.
That's a very good point, and especially if you want to see hummingbirds and even butterflies. Frankly, if you just walk quickly through the garden, you may not notice much activity, but if you sit here for a while, you will undoubtedly see butterflies and hummingbirds in this garden.
Is there a particular season or time that's best to see the butterflies?
As we get later into the summer, the number of butterflies expands, so there's more, but I would say midday is probably the best time. Usually they're not out so much, at least the butterflies, in the early morning. So probably sometime after 10 o'clock in the morning would be the best time. And a sunny day. If you come on a shady day, you're not going to see as many butterflies for sure.
Now, as we head over to the plants, I noticed that for people like me that are kind of novices at this, you've got some signage created.
Yeah, we do. We have signs that will indicate whether the plant is a nectar plant and if it's good for hummingbirds or butterflies or both, and also whether it's a host plant, and in that case it'll say what butterfly uses it as a host plant.
Thank you, Sue. I hope all of you come out to discover this gift from the Sun City Avant Gardeners Club. They've given us and Mother Nature.
It was a pleasure to get the tour from Sue and get some good landscaping advice. The Avant Gardeners have really provided us with an outdoor space we can all enjoy.
And this year especially, anything we could do outdoors was welcome. Georgia, let's revisit some of our alfresco entertainment.
Thankfully, a little of our summer was saved this year with some music venues created around our pools and at the pavilion. Let's listen in.
We're here at the Lake House Pool, where Lifestyle Services is putting on a pool party. Everyone's having so much fun. Let's go find Lindsay and find out how this all came about.
So Lindsay, how did this all come about?
Well, back in the spring, we were doing Wind Down Wednesdays over the backside of the lake house, and we were just trying to think of a new place to do the same type concept, and we thought, what's better than at the pool in the summer? Everyone wants to come down, enjoy some water, enjoy the sun, and some live music.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, is this going to be an ongoing thing?
Our goal is to continue this throughout the summer. We will have another one next week at the lake house, and we're going to continue through August every Wednesday from 5 to 7. Keep an eye out on e-news for additional locations.
Wonderful. Now, will it always be here at the lake house?
Yes, it will always be here at the lake house, and we are going to try and put some over at Hidden Cypress at same time, same dates.
And we have live music as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, this is wonderful. Now, is there any stipulations that you have?
We are still running capacities at our pools, which is 79. That's something to keep in mind. But there is outdoor areas as well. You can come up in your golf cart and still hear the music, or bring a lawn chair and sit outside the fence. You're more than welcome to enjoy it that way.
And I see that you're keeping social distancing.
Yes, we very much encourage that.
I'll shake her a song. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, and I know it could be my fault.
I'm here
here with Lindsay Blackman from the Lifestyle Services here. And Lindsay, what's going on tonight?
Tonight we have a Music in the Square featuring Tokyo Joe. It's going to be about 200 people here in the pavilion. We're encouraging social distancing and some dancing. A fun night.
Okay, and the weather has held out for you, hasn't it? I mean, it rained before, and I thought thunder and lightning, but boy, now the sun is out just for you guys.
We are very thankful that it cleared up just for today. I think everyone's itching to get out of the house and have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, and we look forward to hearing Tokyo Joe.
Thanks. Have a great time.
I'm here with Tricia Potts, and Tricia, what'd you come to see? Do you like Tokyo Joe, or?
You know, to be honest, this is the first time we've heard him, so we're willing to buy the tickets and be outside and enjoy the pavilion again.
Everybody is anxious to get outside, and it's a perfect day. It stopped raining.
I know, I agree. Yeah, I kept checking my emails to see if it was going to be canceled or moved, but we're lucky.
Okay. Are you going to do some dancing tonight?
If I can, yes. I think we will. If there's room and we all socially distance, we'll be good. Yes.
Okay. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not while I still need you around. You don't own me. We're not changing. Yeah, we just might feel good. I wanna push you around. Will I will.
Glad to see our activities returning. We're starting to see our groups and club activities rekindle. Georgia, now you caught up with the Buckeye group. And a poker run?
You can bet that our Buckeye group had an event planned that was a winner. Keeping their active membership safe, they held their first poker run.
You can bet that the Sun City Buckeye group has a way to get their members together. Their idea today is a winner. And we had a chance to check in with David Lash, their president, to find out what's going on and what they plan on continuing to do.
Good morning. We're so glad to have the Sun City TV people here today to let you know that the Buckeye Club is having a golf cart poker run. If you don't know what a poker run is, I'll give you a quick explanation. We have 7 stations throughout Sun City. These are members of the Buckeye board that are in their driveway. When you come up to the driveway, they pull a playing card, tell you what the playing card is. You write it down, they write it down, go on to the next station and do the same thing. At the end of the 7 stations, you will have a chance to pick 5 of those best cards to make your best poker hand. And depending on what that is, you may or may not be a winner. But we'll soon find out. We should be done. We're finishing up around 11:30 today.
In between a steady stream of golf carts, we're going to try to catch a few of the Sun City Buckeye Group board members to see how they're planning in the new normal.
Well, the Buckeye Club finally found something to do. We have a poker run going on, and at least gets some of us out of the house, and hopefully we can have another activity where we can keep the Buckeye Club active.
Hi, first, it's so good to see everybody out here today. We've had over 40 people here for our very first Buckeye non-contact poker run. The non-contact being the big thing. In terms of things we've got coming up, we don't know yet. We're trying to brainstorm because, as we all know, there are so many people from Ohio and Sun City. And what we do is give those people a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and their time to be together and make new friends as well as connect with some old friends as well. So, with all of this being shut down, everything we do has kind of come to a giant halt. So we're trying new things, seeing how they work. I think today went beautifully. We couldn't have asked for better weather with the storm hanging over our heads. That worked out. Far more people came than we thought would. And it was just great seeing everybody. And every single person said, it's just so great to get out of the house and to see people. And so it's been fun to be a part of that. So we are going to keep brainstorming, and we'll come up with something. I don't have a clue what it is, but there'll be something. That's as good as it gets. Bye, Buckeyes.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. It's a beautiful day out here, a nice breeze, and I think we're going to win.
Very creative idea
What's the
for
prize?
getting people out.
We want to know the prize.
We're having a great day today. It's nice to be out of the house. We're with friends. It's sunny. We're already winners because we live here in Sun City. Go Bucks!
So we have some other things that the Buckeye group is doing. Namely, we have some virtual bingo games. We have virtual trivia. All that is available. If you go to our website, you can find out when that is. Later on this fall, probably we're going to come up with a golf cart race. We haven't worked out all the details yet, but it's going to be very similar to a Kentucky Derby type race where you had horses in line and you roll a dice and decide how far you're going to go. We haven't worked out all the details for that, but what we're trying to do is get our members involved in some kind of fun event that still stays with the 6-foot social distancing, the mask. The last thing we want to do is contaminate anybody with any kind of problems.
As you heard, it took some careful planning and logistics. They did some things differently, but all ended up having fun.
Now, while things may be different this year, we were happy to see that a Sun City project started in 2012 continued on this year, stronger than ever. Joanne, fill us in on that effort.
For 9 years, the Fill the Bus program, spearheaded by Beth Williams, benefits Hardeeville and Ridgeland schools. Our Sun City TV crew got the story.
We're here this morning for Fill the Bus with Beth Williams, Mrs. Mayor. Now, Beth, what exactly is Fill the Bus and what are we all doing here today?
So Fill the Bus is the program that we have here on the north side of Sun City. We have 15 neighbors that are in the city of Hardeeville. And each neighborhood collects school supplies for the Hardeeville schools. And today is one of our pickup days. And each neighborhood has a designated collection house, and today we are at one of our stops, and the neighbors have also congregated here with their masks and social distance to see what this is all about.
Now we have Vicki from Turnberry Woods. Now exactly what did you collect?
We collected hundreds of pencils, crayons, composition books, printer paper for the teachers who might have to make packets for their virtual students, any tools that we felt children would need to get a good start to the school year.
At this point, Fill the Bus is exclusively a North Side event, but Beth Williams would love anyone in Sun City. If you would like to help out with your neighborhood and do some collections, give Beth Williams a call. This is Chris Chase for Sun City TV News.
We've heard it a lot. Things are being done differently this year, and our ever-successful Hardeeville Fill the Bus campaign is underway, and yes, things were done differently. Here to tell us about it is Beth Williams, the Fill the Bus coordinator, and she'll tell us about the endeavor, changes and all. Beth, congratulations on another successful Fill the Bus. Despite all the different situations, how are your efforts different this year?
This year, Fill the Bus was very different because we didn't have a bus. We had a lot of SUVs picking up the school supplies, and we did it in 3 days instead of the one day where it takes about 2 or 3 hours with the bus, and that was the major difference. We did not lack school supplies. It was just as incredible as ever. We have more than anybody can imagine in school supplies for the students this year.
What a credit to our community. Beth, we are over here now at the Ridgeland Hardeeville High School. And is there anything different that you provided with supplies for them?
Yes, this is the first year of our Fill the Bus collection that we have had enough that we're able to expand to this school. And we've collected wide-ruled notebooks and paper geared towards the older students.
Sharon, the Greater Federation of Women's Clubs heard that the Hardeeville, Jasper County Fill the Bus campaign was filled with school supplies.
Right.
But there was an outstanding need for 32 gig flash drives. GFWC to the rescue.
Yes.
All right. How did you get your membership involved in this flash drive collection?
You know, it was really easy. We sent out, when we heard about it, we sent out an email saying just that they have a lot of school supplies, but they still needed flash drives. So our women just came to the rescue and just collected over 100 flash drives, and actually that was within 3 days.
Dr. Wicks, please tell us about Royal Live Oaks Academy.
Royal Live Oaks is a K through 12 public charter school, and we serve children who, for the most part, are disadvantaged in that they may be 1 or 2 or 3 grade levels behind and may come from families that have had a lot of disruption.
Now, this year has certainly been an interesting year, but as you are approaching the beginning of a new school year, how important is it for the Fill the Bus materials to your students?
It's critical, really, because based on COVID and families being out of work and a lot of things that they couldn't control, this will make a huge difference as we send the computers home with them, and then they have the supplies they need to do their work.
Now, today we're seeing, Hardeeville has collected these materials for all of you to share with yourselves, your teaching staff, your students. How important is that?
Well, as everyone knows, teachers spend tons of money of their own on their classroom. And today I just walked out of my classroom to the cafeteria, and there are boxes and boxes and boxes of supplies. It's a little difficult time to be asking our parents to spend any of their own money. A lot of them are out of work. So the community of Sun City pooled their money, and our parents appreciate it, our teachers appreciate it, the kids appreciate it. Anything brand new, not secondhand hand-me-down. So,
as part of a neighborhood who collects supplies and a GFWC member, I am so proud that nothing can stop the Fill the Bus program.
Kudos to all involved.
Now, Georgia, let's finish up with a Jasper County update with Hardeeville Mayor Harry Williams.
Our reporter, Chris Chase, was hot on the story of developments occurring in Jasper County, and her source was our own Sun City resident and mayor of Hardeeville, Harry Williams.
We're here with our favorite mayor, Harry Williams. Now, Harry, there's been so many things going on in Hardeeville. Can you tell us some of the things that are going on?
Well, of course, the big news is we were recently just funded to put in a new exit off I-95 called Exit 3. And the big news about that is that it will lead to the development of over 4 million square feet of light industry, warehousing, and logistics down in that part of the city. We already have just completed North Signal Capital, the first 150,000 spec building. Now, this spec building will be leased out to big companies, and we're just really close to announcing a major national retailer as the first tenant in there.
You're going to let us know right away when it is.
You're going to be the first to
yes.
know. And we're hoping to announce that really soon. And we're already starting the next 300 square feet. Ground's already broken for that down there as well. So this is what this means is a lot of great new, good paying jobs for our young people in this area.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's great plans. And thank you so much for doing all of this. Now, how is your committee and council? What are they doing?
Well, of course, this time of year, we just finished our budget process. And with COVID, it was more difficult than ever before because we had to anticipate that our revenue streams may not be as healthy as they have been doing. But the good news is, it looks like our revenue stream's going to stay pretty strong. Our building permits are up at Sun City, and Margaritaville is doing very well. And that's good news for everybody because that revenue enables us to put money into the infrastructure as well as hopefully we'll continue to lower taxes.
Now, what about the millage?
Well, that's one of the most conservative parts of our budget. As you may recall, the city of Hardeeville has lowered the millage rate for 8 straight years. That's a reduction of 25%. But we thought with being conservative with the budget and not borrowing any more money this year, we thought even though we could have, we decided to leave the millage rate the same until we get an idea of how the revenue stream is going to be.
That's Extra for September. I'm Joanne Hines. Please check out the program guide in Sensations for our other Sun City TV monthly shows.
And I'm Georgia Lash. Thank you for watching. Please join us again next month as we bring you extra coverage of stories and features from Sun City News.